episode of the Lemons Prequel podcast. I'm super excited for this episode. It's one that's been a good few days, you could say, in the making and everything. I'm very excited about this guest, not only because I'm going to be sharing stage with him in just a few days at London Music Hall, but because
when this comes out, it'll be tonight.
Oh, it'll be that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry. When
So
if you're listening to this on the day of today, I'll be sharing the stage with this guy. Here in London at the London Music Hall. He's been a staple in the London music scene for years now. You definitely know this crooning voice. We're so excited to have him and talk to him about all things music and just him in general. Jordan MacDonald of Texas King. How are you doing today, Jordan?
I'm doing great. It's great to see you guys, Patrick and Aaron. Thanks for having me on the podcast. It's great to be here.
yeah, well, thanks for taking the time. We know you're busy, and as it was said, you guys have a show tonight, so you'll probably be working on it this week. How about we start? If you could just do a brief little introduction about who you are, what's your part in Texas King, and everything, about a little overview of you.
Okay. Well, my name's Jordan MacDonald, and I play in the band Texas King. I started it, I guess. I play guitar and I sing and kind of like write the songs and front man kind of responsibilities, I guess I would say. And we've been a band for 10 years. I started the band 3 years before that, just me as a solo guy. And then I did that for 2 years solo. And then for a year with Colin, just us two as a duo, which was a really funny setup. I'll tell you guys about that. I had a kick drum and Colin had a hi-hat.
Oh, wow.
And he played electric guitar through an amp, and I played an acoustic guitar through a DI box, and I sang and he sang. And I mean, at the time it was hype, but looking back, it's like, what were we doing? So that's like a little intro. And then Colin I mentioned, and then Phil, we met at Fanshawe College. We met at the MIA program. And our drummer at the time when we started the band was Rob Krellin, who is a great drummer and a great friend. He was also in the program a year ahead of us. And then we've been through drummers. Like, we had another drummer named Rob, and then now we have our drummer, our third and final drummer, I call him, Melvin Murray. And he's great, and he's from Cambridge, so he moved to London. He's all in. He's been a great asset to the band. He's a great dude, great player, and he prints all our merch, which is super tight because yeah, he geeks out
That's
in his
super handy.
garage. Yeah, it's amazing. So we love you, Melvin. And did that answer the question?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Nice.
You're the front man, you know what I mean? You've got like the hype man role, you might say, as well in the band and everything. But it's really interesting. I kind of want to roll it back even a bit too, though. How did you get your start in music, if you don't mind me saying, even before Texas King?
Nice. Yeah, let's roll it back. So I'd say I would attribute my musical start to church. I grew up, my dad was a pastor, and I was always at church, and I was fascinated by the band. I started as a drummer, so my first instrument was drums. I played drums when I was like 6 years old and loved rhythm, always did. Now, roll it back again. I'm adopted, so this is like my adoptive parents, my mom and dad. But then I found out later in my life that my birth father was a kit player. He played drums. And so I was like, whoa, light bulb moment, like, makes sense. So that's cool for the story. And yeah, at 13, I think I was at the church and I was like, I don't want to play drums anymore because I'm sick of sitting in the back. I want to try playing guitar and singing. And so at 13, I started strumming around on the guitar. My dad showed me a few chords and then kind of took it from there on my own. But I never played proper chords at first, which was to my own mom's dismay, I should say. She was like, "You're not playing chords. You got to learn real chords. Take guitar lessons." I was like, "I'm not taking lessons." It was this whole thing. So like, it took me a while. Then I finally did take lessons. I went to guitar camp. I learned how to play like the G's and the D's, and like, he only taught me like an E minor and A7 and like a D or something. So I was like, you left out G?
That's your main chord.
That's
Yeah, like
the
that's
most basic chord other than C. This is
like,
ridiculous.
yeah, like teach me G first. So anyway, that's how I got my start. And then I grew up and I guess I took a little break from music, got really like obsessed with sports. I was playing basketball and hockey like crazy. So that I just didn't play guitar for a while. And then in high school, I think it was about maybe grade 10, I started playing guitar again and singing. And then by the end of high school, I was like pretty into it, thinking like maybe that's what I want to do instead. I'm not going to the NBA or anything, you know? So yeah, I fully went into music. Then that's where I like applied to fan shop for general arts and all that stuff. And then that takes us back to where we were in the story.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got my start. And then that's where I met Colin and Phil and all that.
So you've basically always been interested in music, pretty much. It's been a through line your whole life.
Yeah, I've always loved music. It's always been a through line in my whole life.
Do you ever miss the drums sometimes when you have to take on all of that frontman energy? Do you ever go, hey, it'd be nice to be back just hitting some sticks for for a while?
Yeah,
Or do you still enjoy that front, the attention?
you know, I think it's a different game on the drums now than it was back at Chartwell Baptist Church for me. You know, like I don't know if I could do what Melvin does, what some of these crazy guys do. Like I think my body would hurt if I had to play like that. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
very high velocity. Like I'm jumping around, don't get me wrong. My feet hurt, but the attention that you're talking about really makes me not feel my feet during the show. They hurt after, but it's worth it. It's always worth it. And yeah, I really still do like being out front because I see it as a full circle kind of thing. Like I write the music like sitting right here or whatever on my bed or whatever. And just to be standing there having people sing it back or like whatever it is, it's just like, oh man, like this, you can't beat it. Like that's what I wanted. That's what I kept thinking when people are singing it back. It's like, this is exactly what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love that part of it. And it's cool. All the efforts that we all put in individually as a band too, you know, like there's lots of little jobs that we all do and to keep the wheels on the bus, for lack of a better term. And yeah, just like when it all comes together and you can look over at your boys and it's like, fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the money shot.
Yeah, you guys have been a band together for like, so how many years in total has Texas King been a band then? Sorry.
It's almost 10, man. It's 2020 or 2023. It'll be 10 because we were a band in 2013, I think,
Amazing.
officially.
That's
So
awesome. It's a
yeah,
decade.
a decade. Yeah. So crazy to think. We got
Yeah.
400,000 kilometers plus on our van, our noble steed.
Wow.
It's still
Yeah.
running.
Still kicking. Can't stop her.
Unbeatable. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Patrick, how many vans have you had broken down in your
Enough. Yeah. Yeah, and not nearly that amount of kilometers on it yet either. Like just, you know.
Yeah, I think we got pretty lucky, to be honest. Like she's a beauty. We keep her maintained, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a 2004, like it could be dead.
Yeah, should be
That's
dead.
amazing.
It should
That's
be dead.
amazing.
Yeah.
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 You know what? That comes with years of knowledge, right? You know, and taking the time with it.
Yeah,
You know, and taking the time to figure it out. Absolutely.
absolutely.
So, you had mentioned that you started the band a little bit before you met Colin. Did you always go under the name of Texas King, or was that once you started kind of becoming a band?
Uh, so I started playing gigs when I was like 18 years old, freshly 18, and then under just Jordan Mac Music or something it was called, J Mac Music maybe. I painted all these signs. I had access to this art room, and so I painted all my own signs in this cool way. And I like made these double signs and like connected them with paint sticks and nails and shit. And it was like super, super, super MacGyver, but honestly, I saw some pictures of it the other day, and it was pretty sick. Whatever. And I would play this setup where I had a loop pedal on like a desk, a MIDI keyboard going to my computer, and then like an acoustic guitar and a mic.
Mhm.
And then I'd have a buddy playing lead guitar too or something. And it was like that was always my MO, was like to be like having all this sound happening and then have a lead guitarist. But then I realized I just wanted a band. So I mean, for a couple of years I did play by myself under this JMac music thing. Then for a year or so I played as Texas King solo, still just acoustic, playing this kind of song. And then met Colin in school, and then was like, I've always kind of just thought like a full band maybe.
Mhm.
And why did you decide on the name Texas King?
So that's a play on words I'm doing. Remember, I mentioned the whole adoption thing. So they named me and everything. So my name was Austin James. So let me do that this way. It was Austin James. So if I went Austin, Texas, King James, like Austin, Texas, those two go together, and then
Mhm.
King. I thought King James because like the Bible version and like all that stuff. Like right away, I was like,
LeBron.
oh, that's got that. Yeah, well, King James, LeBron off the
Yeah.
court.
I would say.
So it was like bum bum bum, and I was just thinking I was being clever, probably baked, and I was just like, yeah, that's cool. And people will say, oh, that's like the Dallas Green thing. And I don't know. I wasn't trying to copy Dallas Green, like it's the same state. It's the same state, I guess.
You got to come up with a band name somehow. And
No matter what it is, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
you know, when I was a kid, you're making me think of it. When I was a kid, I used to talk about like how, man, all the best band names are taken or whatever. And I was talking about band names that arguably are some terrible band names, like Sum 41,
Yeah,
or things like
yeah,
that.
that's the Holy Grail, Green Day.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why didn't I
Oh.
think of
Hear
that?
that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I like it because we've tried to change the name too before, and it's like I don't know. It's just Texas King,
Hmm.
you
It is
know?
what it is.
Yeah. I think it's kind of getting weird these days. We think about changing it again these days because, it's two things people pretty much hate right now are like Texas and
The
like
royal
the
family.
and like the patriarchy, like the king, bow down, like that shit's dead too. So it's like, was it the smartest name to choose and get committed to? I don't know, but we're just gonna rock with it. I meant it about my adoption story, so
Just roll with it.
just roll with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It just kind of also makes you guys stand out a little bit. Like I remember when we first said like, "Oh, we're going to interview Jordan from Texas King." I was like, "Oh, is there anything that like I was asking friends what that you want to know?" And all of them was like, "Why the name Texas King?" So it's like something that you're
It's
pretty
definitely
notable about that.
Yeah, it's definitely like a conversation piece. I'll
Yeah.
say that. Like it always gets brought up, and I'm always down to answer it because I think once people, my experience at least, is most people when they do hear the reason, they're like, "Oh, that's actually cool." Like
Yeah.
Hmm.
we thought you were a country band. Then we came to see you. We liked your tunes, and then we want to know why you're called Texas King. So, but then I think when you hear us play and you read the name, like it kind of makes sense. Like it sounds kind of like dirty and
And like
stinky.
it's played by a bunch of kings, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's yeah, we're trying to lead the charge, on stage there. It is really a stampede for us. So
Speaking of, kind of what is well, it's like I mean, it could amount to like, what you want to do on stage, but also like future wise and everything. I mean, this show happening tonight, listeners, if you're listening in a few days from us now, is like a good culmination of like many years of, you guys have done this many times. I believe is this the 6th year, right, of the holiday hoedown
I
or
think this
holiday
I think this is number 5.
number 5. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. and like again, super excited to be involved. Thanks again. But you know, like it just gets bigger and bigger every year. And it just seems like as a local band, like you're on the biggest local stage you can ask for, you know, pretty much. What is the dream for the band? You know, like what's your white whale? Like, because a lot of local performers would be like, oh, they're doing mine, you know, like they're doing my white whale like every Christmas time. So like you know, tell us about yours, something like that.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And also stoked to have you guys on, and I think that it is going to be a great show. I mean, like that's a killer bill that we've put together. So
Totally.
really stoked for everyone to. You shouldn't be listening to the podcast tonight. Let me just tell you that. You should be at the show.
They'll be listening in the morning and buying the tickets.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be. So enjoy your coffee and pause and buy the tickets.
Yeah.
So it's white whale for me, man. Like playing in front of 100 people anywhere, like in Montreal or Mississauga or Burlington or whatever it is. It's like still to me, it's like this many people give a shit about what we're doing. Like it blows my mind. Like I remember when we used to play to 4 people everywhere we went, and I was still like, gotta get greased up, boys. There's a big one tonight. Like, you know, it's like I think it's just that anyone cares is great to me, but this many people, like I've been running around the city selling tickets this past few months, and like just seeing the people that are excited. And like I wasn't here last year, I was in BC. I flew in for the show. It was much different experience, and like being back in the community. I moved back to London. Being back in the community, it's given me this opportunity to see my friends again and see everyone I know and run into people at the markets and see people down at the bars or whatever. And like it's like, can't wait to see you at the show on December 9th, baby. Come on. And they're all like, tickets, and I'm like, they're right here. And then we're at the show, and it's I think this year is going to be a really good one, because last year was all weird with COVID and we got a bunch of people sick. But we still did the show, and it's just like the reason we did it is because that's a tradition we want to build. And it's like every year you can count on the get down, and yeah, we just can't wait for it to happen again. I think this is going to be the best one yet. I'll say it right now.
Boom. There you go. For those listening, if they don't know, that's Texas King Pro Wrestling, the band. Teenage Kicks have got back together for this show, which is a sweet get. You know, that's a member of is it Sheepdogs, or is it what's
the Glorious Sons?
Glorious Sons, that's right. Remember Glorious Sons, former band?
The bass player from the Glorious Sons, and he used to have a band called Teenage Kicks. They broke up. Now they're getting back together. They're going to make new tunes, and we're going to play their official reunion show in Toronto. But I was like, Pete produces our records. He's the guy, Pete. And I should say he's one of the producers. And I was like, Pete, come on, just play the show. So he was down.
You're already practicing. You might as well do it. Absolutely.
Exactly. It's like, use it as a warm-up.
Oh, people will love it too. That's going to be super fun. And then Drew Thompson Foundation, who you know, Canadian staple at this point, Drew Thompson. So that's amazing.
Hook. The guy writes hooks.
Yeah. Boom.
So you said this one tonight is going to be the best yet, but do you have a favorite show that comes to mind that you've performed thus far in your career? Like if you think back and there's a show that really stands out, you're like, that was a time and a half.
Yes. We played a bunch of great shows on the tour with Big Rec that were like very high moments for me, because there's just so many people. Like Commodore Ballroom 2 nights in a row in Vancouver was crazy. My birthday was one of those nights. Crazy, really favorite maybe. Danforth Music Hall in Toronto 1 year or 2 years ago, 3 years ago, right before we played our Get Down the next night. So we were coming in on fumes.
Jeez,
But
that's
like
awesome.
the Danforth was great. We played at this place where Jimi Hendrix and Kurt Cobain played at, called the Crocodile in Seattle. That was sick. We were like in the green room. You could like feel the spirit. It's like, I think tonight's gonna be a good show, boys. And it really was. Yeah, stuff like that, man. We played a great place in St. John, this like theater, and like we literally didn't even open the doors of our van that day. Like we got there and the crew was like, "Hi, welcome, you're Texas Gang. Come out. Do you have any luggage?" They took our luggage, they took our gear, they rolled it up ramps. It was on an elevator, it was on stage, it was out of cases, it was set up, it was plugged in, it was ready, mic stand, right at height. It's like, did you measure me? That was the best crew experience that I've ever had. But yeah, some of those first ones I said, Nashville, LA, all great stops on that tour. So
Amazing.
that was more than one answer, but
No, I
It
love that.
works.
No, absolutely. And touring with Big Wreck, that's so sick too. I mean, we get into here like I love that tune every night, like
yeah,
that's a good time.
yeah, yeah, man. It was really great. They're a great band, great crew. It was a great experience. They taught us a lot. And yeah, our brothers forever.
Yeah, you know what? Can I ask while we're on the subject, biggest takeaway as a like a learning experience from that tour for up and coming bands that might want to know?
Don't go on the stage until the band, like every night they sound check first, right? Like the headlining band sound checks before you do. So you're there, you're watching the sound check, you're unpacking your amps and getting your pedals plugged in, ready to pick up and plug in and go. You don't want to be slow. Go fast. That's another tip.
Mhm.
You want to be polite to the sound guy. You want to remember the sound guy's name because he's your only hope all night. And you're already fighting an uphill battle because he doesn't know your music and he might hate it.
Mhm.
So I'd say don't get on the stage while the other band's still on the stage. Like you got to wait. And then you have to wait after they're off the stage till their crew is done taping down their mic stands and all that stuff. Like that was a big learning lesson for us. Like we were very green about tour etiquette, I would say,
Mm.
at the pro scale. And so, yeah, don't go on until you get the thumbs up from someone on the crew and be fast, have your stuff plugged in, have proper cables. Yeah, technical difficulties are the worst on stuff like that because you only have 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Like, you don't want to blow it.
Yeah,
Those are my wise words.
they've got strict cutoff times, right? And they're kind of like, hey, it doesn't really matter if you started late, you're done, kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah, they'll shut your amps off. We never
Oh,
had our amps shut off, but they did that to bands before, they told us.
oh man. They're like, yeah,
Which is
yeah,
like
you're
just
you're not cutting in our
yeah,
time.
yeah, you can't. So we're always good about time. Worst case, we'll play a little under, you know.
Yeah, just to appease everybody. I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, when you come back to London, and it like let's exclude the hall just because the hall's sweet and everything, but it is the hall, what's your favorite venue to play when you come perform at London?
Oh man. There's a funny answer that is actually true for my solo gigs, but let me just think for a sec. Can I say Rum Runners?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's fine.
No,
No.
Rum Runners is sick, but let's just consider that all music hall. Like, not everyone can just go play there. Okay. So, I mean, the Rec Room has probably the next best, like, setup, you
Mm.
know, these days. It should be Call the Office. Why don't I just say Call the Office? Because those were the best shows in town. But someone bought it and now they don't want it, or what's going on? Call the Office. Can I say that? It counts.
You know,
I
uh,
think
would
still fresh.
so you're saying London Music Hall would have been your number one basically if I hadn't been like, oh, excluding the London Music Hall sort of thing.
Yeah, like it's definitely my favorite place in town to play, like hands down.
Gotcha.
I'm happy that we get to play there as a band in the big room. I like playing there as a band in Rum Runners. I like playing in Rum Runners as a solo guy. Uh, I think Rum Runners is really the ideal gigging hub. I just think it's hard because it's kind of big looking if you only have like a few people coming. Which like remember the APK, remember Call the Office, you remember even like 765 down here in the East Village used to have a place where like especially metal bands could go and just rip, and it was like whatever, bring 10 friends, give you a drink ticket each and $100 for the band, like play and get out of here. I think that London's missing a few key spots now because I mean like it hit everyone hard. I know that, especially you drive down Dundas or something, you know, it's like oof. But I don't know. I have hopes for the city. I think it's gonna rise back up. I mean, like we had bad numbers, I'd say, at our get down last year, and then look like we're looking a little better this year. So I think there's progress coming up.
I
As an
agree.
example.
Yeah.
As an example. Yeah.
I agree, absolutely. What about music videos? Do you guys have music videos planned for any new music coming up?
You know, I believe the word on that is that yeah, for the singles that we choose, we're gonna have to do some music videos. So I don't know. You know, music videos are a funny thing. We've done quite a few music videos, and yeah, I mean, I think we have some great videos. I think I'm still just sitting here waiting for that hit video, you know. You know, you get a hit song, but I want a hit video too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm curious to ask you guys as like people who we grew up kind of like in that Much Music video countdown era where the music video was so important. Like if you had a good music video out, that's how I found out about Colorado. They had that viral video. There was all these things. Now, do you feel like it's still necessary to put out a music video with your big songs, or is it just kind of like a you feel like you should because you've grown up in that space?
I don't know. I think yeah, I want to have a video for every song that's sick because yeah, it's like the Simple Plan video on the roof playing in the rain headbanging. It's like oh, like this is it's exactly how the song feels.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go in the window, it's like this video is sick. So like it comes from there for me. But now the sad truth, Aaron, to answer your question is, and I'm sure you can agree, Patrick, is that you know if you're signed to a major label, if you're picked up by someone who's footing the bill for what you're doing, they want you on TikTok. They want you making a song that explodes on TikTok. It's TikTok. Like
Mm.
it's a new world. And I'm kind of dragging my heels, I gotta be honest about it, because I like watching little TikToks and stuff, but I'm not sure, but like it seems like a lot of time and stuff, you know? Like you could be working on music, you could be writing a record, you could be touring, but I guess that's the thing. You find someone to follow you with a TikTok camera or something, right?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot involved with that kind of thing, and the levels that you might have to go to as well.
Yeah, like do I have to put on makeup to compete? I don't know if I could do it just for a TikTok.
Learn all these dances and everything. There's a lot involved,
You
absolutely.
guys have to create a dance for each of your songs so it goes viral.
I don't know if I can do it. People got to copy my stage moves on stage
Yeah.
and then let that go viral.
Yeah. Have you guys know Louis Capaldi?
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, so he has a song that's coming out right now. It just made me think of it. And his label is forcing him to do TikToks on it. and he is being so honest about how much he hates doing them. He goes, guys, can you please pre-save my song so I can stop doing this? I don't want to do this anymore, but I have to keep, if the song doesn't go viral on TikTok, I can't release it.
Yeah, yeah, that's funny. And they're just like, we said make a TikTok.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
That's cool. Good for him.
Do you guys have to deal with that? Like, what's your label situation?
You know, we're currently an independent band as it stands right now. We're interested in the label aspect of things. We're down, and we've had a few conversations and stuff like that, and there's nothing really more to actually say, but we're down with that. I've enjoyed being an independent band up until now. I just think it's like it would be a good time to maybe see about something like that for the band, because you know we're all serious about it, and we want to just make that push. So we'd be interested in if there's any labels listening, you know, give us a sign. Yeah, kind of thing like that, you know, like we're open to it. It's got to be the right situation, of course. So yeah.
Well, obviously you're able to support yourselves in a way where you don't feel it like totally necessary yet, you know, being able to have these conversations and realize, no, this isn't going to work for us is a cool position to be in.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a big blessing to have. I mean, Phil, I got to speak to Phil for a minute there. Like he keeps everything quite squared away so that we are good. And like he sort of tour manages while also being the bass player while we're on the road. So that stuff's, you know, he's got his Excel sheet out and he's doing all the important accounting and all that stuff. So it's really great to have someone like that. And yeah, you know, like I said about the merch, like we're saving money there. So there's lots of benefits to the setup we have, is what I'm saying. Where we can be independent, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. It most of the time it seems like it's the best thing to do anyways. You know, everybody's trying to get a cut of everything anyways, right? You know, I'm sure now that you've had that professional touring experience, most listeners might not know that you get to these bigger venues and they'll start taking cuts of your merch sales, you know, some of that like you don't realize till you get there sometimes, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's like split it for what? What'd you do, unlock the door? No, I don't want to get into that, but it's true. There's a lot of people talking about that stuff right now, and I mean, I'm down to have more money at the end of the night. Let me say that. But yeah, I don't know. I also see it from both sides. Like, thanks for having us. You know, some people may not just accept thanks for having us as enough. Like maybe you got to give them some cash too. So I'm just happy to be playing.
This might be kind of a tough question as you write all of your own songs. Writing these, the songs might feel like your babies, but do you have a favorite song that you've put out that you're like, this one is like, I'm really proud of this one?
Yes, I do. Great question, I have to say. My favorite song I've ever written. Wow. My favorite song I've ever written is probably, well, actually, this is funny because I probably have two favorites now, because there's one song that's unreleased that is a new favorite. My favorite song I ever released is from our initial EP, and it's called Now You Know. And it's like this acoustic ballad. And it's just like when I listen to it now, I'm like, young Jordan. Yeah, young Jordan. Like, holy hell, that's a good little right there, boy. Like 18 years old or something, just like ding ding ding. Like it's a great riff. I don't know. I really like that song. I'm proud of myself for that one. And in Fanshawe, I won a songwriting contest for that song. So I mean,
Congrats.
it's a good song. It's a good song. I got a nice pair of headphones for that competition that I won. So that is my favorite song. But then there's a new song that's unreleased that you guys will hear in the new year from our
Oh, that's exciting.
forthcoming EP. We have an EP coming out in the new year, and it's going to be on there.
Can you
When
let us know what the name is so that when people listen to the EP, they're like, this is the one he said is his new favorite?
The name of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a reasonable request. The song I'm talking about is Memory. It's called Memory.
All right.
Memory, like, when you remember stuff.
So listeners, when their EP comes out, check out Memories. It's the new favorite.
no, it's just memory, Aaron.
Memory. Sorry,
It's memory.
memory.
Yeah,
One
it's just about one memory.
memory. Not all of them.
Oh, it's not about memory in general. Okay. It's about a specific memory. Okay.
It's about one bad memory.
Oh,
No, just
interesting.
like someone with a bad memory.
Mm.
Like it's about how I have a bad memory.
Oh,
Mhm.
oh, I get it.
Not
Me
like,
too.
oh, like that was a scary memory. Like it's like I don't remember things very well. Sometimes I'm like, oops, I forgot. And it's like, oh, Jordan, you shouldn't have forgot that.
Oh, I
So
know what you mean.
yeah,
Absolutely.
that's what it's about.
Absolutely. I feel like the grays in my hairs are my memories just like falling out of me.
Yeah,
There's a
salt and
lyric for
pepper.
you. Um, if you kind of mentioned it, especially with like your favorite your other favorite song being on the first EP that you did. But if listeners were to hear anything from you guys or you were to suggest it, like excuse me, if I were to kind of like in passing be like, you got to listen to Texas King, what would you suggest people listen to first?
I think you should listen to Boomerang first. I think you should listen to Chandelier second. I think you should listen to You third, Flowers fourth, Now You Know fifth, Frontline sixth, Only One seventh. Like start with those seven. And then
Perfect.
see what you like from there. Yeah, that's a good little
I love that. That's
Christmas pack.
good answer. Absolutely. It's good to have more than one too, get give a selection here.
Hey, while we're sitting here, why don't we get a little 3-pack, 4-pack from the pro wrestling band?
Oh, that's easy. Sarah, hard on you. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, we're not gonna get into me. That's
A
top
2-pack.
two. That's all you get.
Listeners, check out pro wrestling band too before you
Appreciate
come to the
it.
show tonight.
Come to the show tonight. You can appreciate all of us.
Yes.
I'm like you, Jordan. I'm on stage and I like that. I like that feedback,
Attention.
and it's gonna be very fun. Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's gonna be
So,
really fun.
speaking to two musicians, there's a lot of different parts to being a musician. There's the writing, there's the recording, there's the performing. Do you have like a favorite part that you're like, this is what I like? Because I know some people are like, I like being in the studio recording. Some are like, I love being on stage. What's your favorite part of being a musician?
My favorite part of being a musician is how you have to show up at a place at 11 a.m., but you don't play until 11 p.m. And in between there, you just have this great opportunity to just wait. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. My favorite part is definitely the performing the tunes live, I have to say. But a close second is the creation of the tunes, like recording and like making sounds and like having ideas and pitching those ideas and getting those ideas to be approved and accepted and used. And then like whenever you listen to it, you're like, nah, I propose that. So that's my second favorite part, tied for first, maybe recording and performing, because yeah, it's great. your voice never sounds as good as it does when you're just only singing. I find, like, when I'm just in a perfectly dimmed room with a beautiful mic that you could never afford right in front of you, just like, it's like so loud in your earphones. You can never sing as good as you do then. So like that part recording is great, but you sacrifice a little bit of vocal quality for that energy. And like Pat was saying, like the way you get the feedback back from the crowd, and like there's this like mist that comes off them when you have them. It's like shaking a soda can and then cracking the top. It's like, oh, some bubbles. So I think there's a finite balance. And there's something to be said about the camaraderie and like the brothership and the brotherhood of the band. Like I love that too. Like, you know, like no one can make me laugh like my band. Like guttural pain from how hard you think something's funny. That stuff too. It's hard to name just one thing for me for these things. You guys keep asking me because so much great parts about it. And yeah, I love it.
I'm with you. Performing has been like the main, I'm sure you feel the same way, has been the main reason why I like to, like, I think it's the thing that I don't realize I'm addicted to until you do it.
It's bringing you back.
Yeah. And just, yeah, exactly. Our family, it sounds like you would probably be the same way with yours, where it's like, I'm gonna bring out the acoustic guitar on the campfire, you know, and we're gonna like sing tunes and stuff. So my parents, you know, I didn't learn quite as early as yourself. I would probably start around like 13 or something, for like picked up my first instrument, like guitar and everything. And it has become this thing where every time we're at like you know, Thanksgiving, this or that, they're like, all right, well, that enough has happened now. Now, Patrick, you have to bring the guitar over. We're all gonna sing tunes. And when I was younger, I used to kind of like get in this sense of like, oh, I don't want to like just have to like sit down and do this and have to like be asked to do this. And as soon as you'd like get the first song done, you forget about all of this, like, oh, I don't want to be asked to do this, because you're like, no, this is awesome, actually. And now like the last few years, I've just kind of been like, yeah, because I don't want to stop. As soon as you start, you're like, let's learn some more songs. Let's keep playing. This is fun, you know?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, man. You kind of drag your feet into some gigs, but as soon as you're up there, it's like, I mean, we're already here. May as well give it a nice little rep. Yeah, totally know what you mean. The music gets you in the mood to do it, I find, even when you're not.
Totally. It takes a song or two, but all of a sudden you start shaking with it, you know, and then you're like, all right, I'm here. I'm into this. Let's do this. This is what I want to do and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate to that a little bit.
Speaking of, we were talking about this earlier. You've been a part of the London music scene for like now mentioning almost a decade, just with Texas King, you know, but much earlier just with your own time being a musician and you know, a solo artist yourself. You know, you've graduated to our largest local stages. What can you attribute to your success?
Oh man, I mean, I learned a lot at Fanshawe College. A lot of people there believed in me. Like I'd attribute Mike Roth. Uh, there's a guy named Dan Bossenberry who now plays with JJ Wild, a great touring act in Canada. They're cousins actually, and Dan was a big influence. I was about to give up. I was about to say, oh, you know, like because I didn't get in the first time I applied to MIA because I didn't submit any music because I didn't know you had to submit music. So it was an incomplete application. And I got denied, and I was like, oh, okay, screw it. Like, we'll just go into like sports kinesiology or something. Like, I'll go down to that part of the college. And he was like, man, you can't stop. Like, I played an open mic, and you know, I was in general arts, but I went to the open mic, and the open mic was overrun by all these MIA kids that were in the year before me, and I was like jealous of them, and like I was like, I guess I'll just go up and try to play, and like being all melancholy. And then like we talked, the music brought me out of my shell, and I ended up going all crazy. And then he came up after and was like, "Yo, you trying out for MIA, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Nah, I'm not, man. I'm quitting. Like, I just got denied." And he was like, he grabbed my cheeks. He was like, you can't quit." And so I reapplied like the next month or whatever when it opened up, and then I recorded some of those tunes that ended up on the first EP, different versions, but a couple of those I recorded them in my college bedroom and like submitted them, and they were like, "Hey, come on, well, come on." So I made it in that second year. I think it's fate because then I met my boys and all that, right? So
There you go. It's meant to be.
you never know the plan.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. You needed that time to figure yourself out, right? You weren't ready for it anyways at the time,
Yeah,
right?
I had to play a few open mics anyway, it turned out.
So like so big thing comes from the from schooling and everything, from what you learned from there. That's your big takeaway there. I love that.
Yeah, and also, I mean, my family was very supportive. They still are. They always have been. I mean, I can't not mention that. My mom and dad were never like, "Don't do music." Like a lot of people's parents are like, "Do music, but like get a real job too." And like they never said anything like that. I mean, we were eating alphagettis there for a minute, don't get me wrong, but they've always been like, chase your dreams, be happy, do that. Like, this makes you special. This is great. You have talent. So I have to attribute that as well, because I bet you if they were like, "You're not allowed," I would have been like, "Sorry guys, my parents said I couldn't." Because I'm a good boy.
I listen to my parents when they say no, absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, I think, yeah, the college experience was great, and my parents supporting me, and then yeah, just my God-given talent as well. I have to attribute that.
Good genes.
Yeah. And my drum playing birth father, I guess I should mention as well.
Do you feel like with the time that you've had in the scene and everything, this is kind of a question maybe it's more something that I'm interested in as somebody who's also been a member of the scene for a long time and everything. But I thought this would be interesting to ask. Like, do you feel like you are an ambassador for London and the music scene, not only like when you go to different cities and everything, but when you show up at shows and stuff in your own city? So like, do you feel like you're like almost a teacher or a leader for the younger musicians coming up? Like, they can look up to you and what you've done, and like you can be accessible to them and everything to help them with their questions or what they want to do. Do you feel like do you feel like you are kind of like, have you been put on this pedestal, or not even that, but like, you've built this position here? It's becoming a long question. You've built this position here. Do you feel like you are kind of like, "Oh, I have this position now and I'm going to use it like for my scene and everything"? You get what I'm saying?
I do get exactly what you're saying. I do think, yeah, there's like a long answer to that question, I guess. But I think one of the things is, if there's like a young artist I hear something playing at a place, or like, Corey Crossman is putting on an event, and I go check it out or whatever, and it's like, I think I get excited about young talent, and I'm really, 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 really willing, and I'd like to think able as well, to like help with whatever. It's like, oh, whatever. Like, I like to do like some producing stuff like that. I like to like do some writing stuff, clean things up. If there's anything, like, I remember when I was young, I could have used some help so much earlier than 18. Like, I could have been writing way better way earlier. And like, there's already kids that can play circles around how I can play now at my current adult age. And it's like, man, if you just like cut that intro by 4 times and like condensed everything, like things that they don't know yet because they haven't been ripped apart by producers, it's like, just held them nicely, and then watch how sick the bangers are they write in their room for TikTok. You know? So I don't know. I think when I go to shows, I'm going because I want to go and support the talent, but I'm also going because I love going to shows. I miss that buzz, that energy of being an audience member. And I mean, it's great for me, man. I feel so happy and like mind blown when people come up and they want a picture or whatever. They want to like say hi. They know me from my music when we're at another show. It's like I'm at a big show. Like I'm at like a big show or something. Like I'm going to see the Glorious Sons, and someone like wants to take a picture with me. Like I'm humbled by that. I think it's really cool. It's never a bad time. I want to be approachable. I always want people to come up and ask that stuff. Like I think that stuff's just so easy for people to do. I think it's dumb when people are like, no pictures, like, or pay for pictures. Like, you know, I think that's really tacky. I think you got to be as nice to the fans as you are to your mom, you know, because it's like you treat people well, they'll keep coming back. And you know, we all have our nights where stuff goes wrong, your guitar breaks and you're zipping past people. Like I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty, you know. We talked about my memory, I forget people's names. I think that stuff I have to try to work on, but for the most part, what the answer to your question, but this long answer is, yeah, man, I'm trying to be that guy. I want to be approachable. I want people to come ask me like anything they want to know. I'm an open book, you know, like I'll ramble on forever about it. So come to me, community. I want to be the pillar of the community.
Love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Shout it proud.
You had mentioned that you love seeing the fresh talent in London. Is there any new London bands or artists that you are excited about and you think people should check out?
Well, I mean, they're already exploding, but you got to check out New Friends Band if you haven't checked them out. Have they already come on here?
No, but we had Dan Broadbeck talked about them too.
Yeah,
Big
hey,
fan of them.
Broadbeck, what a beauty. We've done some work with him. We love him. Hey, Dan, love ya. Yeah, New Friends is they're killing it. I'd have to say being probably my favorite group of young kids. You know who else I really likes? That Asante kid. His name's Asante, and he's a hip hop artist, singer,
Okay.
rapper. He's hype. He's really great.
Gotta check him out. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and then there's a bunch of there's a I mean everyone here knows already about you guys have Serena playing with you guys.
She's gonna jump on. She's helping
Nice.
she asked us, she was like, for everybody listening, yeah, she asked us, she was like, I really want to like jump on a song with you guys on stage, and it was like, yeah, sure, if you want to, yeah, cool, and everything. And so since then, she's just kind of been like, come see Pro Wrestling and Me and everything.
Yeah,
and
she's
awesome. Thank you, Serena. That's great.
I gotta say it, she's one of the best in town. We got Ben Heffernan, I think, is one of my favorite young guys that we played shows together years ago, and we always run into each other along the line. He's a great kid. And the next band I'll mention is Lost in Japan, and then I'll stop. They're a great band too. Those guys are killers. So,
Nice young guys too.
Yeah.
nice young guys, great kids.
You know,
and they love rock. They
Yeah.
love rock.
And they rip too. Like they're a great live band.
They do rip.
And they're big promoters of the local scene. I've always noticed that they're like, stay at the shows after you play, like support everyone on the bill.
Active members. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
important to take in the entire package. I mean, like, for example, again, to bring it back to our own show that's happening tonight, if you're listening, or in a few nights, if we're just talking. It's like, what a sick bill. Why would you want to miss a single band? Like if you miss the first band, you're missing Drew Thompson Foundation. Like they'll headline a show in any other city, you know? It's like if you miss the second band, it's pro wrestling. It's like everyone is going around being like, this band is fucking sick. Why aren't they, you know? I thought you guys were playing right before us, to be honest.
I didn't
So
even know. I didn't even know the lineup till right now. So this is nice. I'm finding out right now. This is great.
yeah, exactly. I try to stay out of all of it too, but it finds its way into my email, doesn't it?
Hmm.
This is
So,
great to hear because I won a bet from Thomas now. I was right about the set list.
uh, and was that a cash bet or a beer bet?
Beer bet, he has to buy the beers that night.
Jeez, that's a pricey bet at the London Music
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hall.
Well done. Well done on that one.
That's a good win.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, that's gonna. Yeah, that was a good answer, right?
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah.
Okay, good.
You know, if you don't mind me asking too, you are pretty well considered like a professional musician, right? Like that's what you do is music, right? And like what your band does, right?
Hmm. Yes.
So how has that changed your life? You know, are you touring consistently or constantly all the time? Like you have a baby now, right? So that's probably, you know, affected things. Congrats, by the way.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, we we haven't kicked back up into full ramped on touring, I wouldn't say, as a band since um COVID hit. Before that, we were touring like crazy, and the baby came in COVID. What I've been doing now, my secret little thing I've been doing now is the private parties, man. I mean, I
Mm.
was always doing them like very rarely when I lived in London before, and now I'm just like, I mean, I'm always on this thing, just like, hey, just following up, see if you'd like to book another. Oh, you would? Hey, let's get it on the books. And it's like I'm hustling that side of things right now. We're doing weddings, we're doing um stag shows, company Christmas parties, whatever it is, birthday. We do a couple celebrations of lives.
Mhm.
So it's a nice wide range, and it's year round. For a while there, I started doing some composition work, some making music just right here in the lab for like Instagram ads and YouTube commercials, like in between and stuff like that, like the little ads the companies are doing, the little 30 seconders. A few of my video director buddies were helping me out with getting some of those gigs, but I was getting very stressed out, I gotta admit, by those like deadlines, being like, it's for Miss Vicky's, leave me alone. Like, I gotta get this done. It's not working. Like, I didn't like the person I was becoming. So I've kind of like, I love just going to like play these gigs and treating it more of like a business now than just like going to bars at 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock and then like wherever the night takes you. Like that's not really a good business model, I wouldn't say.
Mhm.
So now these like private parties, they're done at 9 o'clock. I'm back home, like baby's crying. I can still come in with the bottle. It's all good. Like the life has changed a little bit now, I'd say. And
Mhm.
I still go out for a night or two here and there, but you got to pick your battles because you need the day off the next day. It might not be an option with the baby. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And what now I'm over 30 now too. So I mean it hurts like the Dickens. It's not the same. It's like now I have to soldier through this.
No amount of Gatorade can solve this now. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even bother with that Gatorade stuff anymore. It's just water, 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 and regret.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I just try to avoid that altogether these days. I know what you mean though.
Yeah.
That when you're at the shows, the fun is there, the temptation is there, the drink tickets have been given to you. It's like I've got to have a good time.
Give them away. You never make someone's day more than giving them a drink ticket.
Truth.
It means nothing to you, means everything to them. Imagine
As
you
a
get
I'm an
imagine
add-on. I feel that. When I get it's like here's a drink ticket, I'm like, yes.
imagine giving Tommy a drink ticket that night. How much he'll appreciate it since he has
Yeah.
to fork out cash all night for him and Aaron.
That
It's
is a
like,
good point. That's a very solid point.
let me
Absolutely.
bless you with a free drink.
Yeah.
Lighten
He
the
will
load.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I heard you have a tough night ahead. Here's a free one for you.
Yeah. He'll
Mm.
be hitting the ATM.
Too bad, so sad.
It's a clean bet. It's a
Yeah.
clean bet.
We were sure. He was sure that pro wrestling would be opening, and you guys thought so too. So I was the
Yeah,
only
so
bright
did
one.
I. So yeah, I don't know.
There you go.
So much for being a local band, eh?
Yeah.
There you go. You know, well, hopefully the show just goes off well. I'm just over here being like, hopefully it goes well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a great show. Everyone come for every band. That's the moral of the story.
So for the listeners who are like, okay, I've heard this now, I really want to come see the show. How do they get tickets? What time is it starting? Let everybody know.
Here
Just
we go.
what's the plan?
This is the plan. Adhere to it. 7 o'clock, the doors open. 7:30 is the first band, Drew Thompson. It's 30-minute set, then I think it's 45-minute sets from then on out or something. I would have to say. We might play a little longer, but we play at 10, and I don't know when everyone else plays, but in between 7:30 and 10 is the whole show. So you're looking at $25 at the door, unless you bring a donated, like you can donate a toy to the toy drive, to the London Toy Drive, and that'll take $5 off your ticket at the door. So then you'll be doing $20 at the door. I'll tell you this right now, there are a couple of tickets down at the Grooves record store, I believe, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then personally, I have, I think, a 10-pack left in my own personal possession. So I mean, whatever.
Yeah, there's some cool
Contests.
I mean, I was gonna say there's some cool contests going on. I can't remember if they'll likely be going on until this podcast will come out, and then these contests will end likely soon after. But if you listen, you could still get in on this. Absolutely. Holy Diver, is doing a ticket giveaway if you get on their instas. Beer Lab is doing a ticket giveaway as well. If Weird or like Pro Wrestling is doing a ticket giveaway as well, so like there's lots of options and opportunity to see this show even without funds.
And
we want bodies, we want people there.
Beach Boy Burger, I gotta say as well, they have been doing a great job. They have a Texas King burger, and also there's like 6 tickets you can win from there on some like Willy Wonka cheese. Like if you might get it, if you just go buy a burger, you might, oh, there's a golden ticket in my chocolate bar wrapper. That kind of
That'd be a good bite into it. Oh, a nice ticket for the show. All right.
Yeah, it comes with bite marks. They just have to scan it. That'd be great. So it's cool how many people are on board this year. Companies and like local businesses and Beer Lab, like all that stuff. Super cool to me.
Yeah.
And FM 96, like the main station too, right? Like they're sponsoring the whole thing. So that we're doing the toy drive with them in collaboration with them. So bring a damn toy.
Yeah. I can't believe we haven't mentioned that yet. That's right. It's a toy drive. So yeah, bring donations. This is the time of year when there are lots of kids that go without the opportunity to play with some really incredible toys that are out there. There's too many good toys that exist in the world right now that, you should be helping out. Absolutely, if you can.
Yeah. And I know like with our baby, we have too many toys, and he's only just over 1. So I mean, think about a baby with no toys. You don't want to think about it. So just bring some toys. Come on.
There you go.
Get $5 off your ticket, bring some toys. And even if you have a ticket already, you saved money by getting them off me. So bring some toys.
Boom.
There.
Or just be a decent human being and bring a toy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just bring some toys.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get into some London-based questions. Excuse me. Now that we are through the standard, questionnaire of who you are and all that noise. Now we're gonna get into the real tough stuff, the real meat of the episode. All our London-based questions. So this is the toughest question of the podcast. We've always found. We're always interested in seeing what the people have to say about this. Where is your favorite place to eat in London?
Oh man. I can't go on and on. Sweet Onion Bistro. I mean, whatever you need it for, it's there.
Mm.
There, I said it. Except breakfast. Except breakfast.
Didn't they just start breakfast?
They did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw on Instagram that they were starting breakfast.
So we gotta go try the breakfast.
It's got
Nice.
everything.
Yeah.
Might
Greek
never
night.
leave.
Have you guys been to a Greek night at Sweet Onion?
No.
Oh, gotta try. Absolutely. Where is Greek Onion for the listeners? Is that on Dundas?
Sweet Onion's down in
Bartley.
Wortley Village.
Oh,
Right at
oh,
what's that
I'm getting mixed up.
intersection?
Got it. Sorry.
What's that intersection there, Aaron? I know you know it well.
Is it Craig?
Craig and Wortley.
Yeah.
You got the Black Walnut, you got the Home Hardware, you got Sweet Onion Kitty Corner.
Yeah.
Mm.
You'll see strollers, you'll see dogs.
It's always music.
Yeah,
People are on the patio until like November.
it's a great spot. Great
Yeah.
food. Get the Saganaki, start your meal. Trust me. Okay, next question.
What people like to think of London as the city of neighborhoods. What would you say is your favorite neighborhood in London?
My favorite neighborhood in London, hands down, is the Old East Village. I gotta say. But I do like Wortley as well. It's just like, and you know what? Right now I'm living in Woodfield. So why don't I call out Woodfield? It's just on the other side of the Old East Village, and it's like way more pimp. And yeah, Woodfield, OEV, whatever, whichever way you slice it.
Nice area, absolutely. What about a London small business you couldn't live without?
Asmara. Asmara is an Ethiopian coffee spot. They roast their own beans in store. There used to be a spot on Dundas. They moved down to Lisle and York, and they've opened up a nice big shop and go and sit down now. It's quite nice. Miskina is the owner. He's a great guy, and he's so kind. Me and my baby go in all the time for coffee beans, and I'll grab a hot one while I'm there, stuff like that. Get a croissant, a donut, a bag, or whatever Levi wants, And it's just he's the best guy, man. He's like a nice guy, community guy. He takes time to walk through the whole dining room, say hi to everyone. He knows your order. You walk in, he has an order. You call him on the phone. He's like, oh, of course, I know what you need. So Miskina over at Asmara Coffee. Go get it if you've never had it.
Love it.
Oh, heck yeah. If you were to, so you have a day off in the city, if you were to have a perfect day in London from when you wake up to when you go to bed, what does it entail?
Okay. Perfect day in London. So this means there's no like construction or anything like that. So,
No, the dream day.
yeah. So the perfect day in London would start in the early morning with a cup of coffee, maybe a doob.
Mhm.
And then I would teleport. This is the perfect day. I would teleport to this place called the Gravel Pit, which I don't know how many people know about this spot, but it's like in North London, and it's like by this gravel pit across from Lafarge, and it's this big pond where you can it's like half rocky, hillside, tall grass. Like you can pick your adventure. Beach. And then there's this nice spot to do what I like to do: start a fire, cook down the coals, make a nice meal. You can go for a swim, you bring your dogs, it's all good. Except there is a community of beaver there, so you don't have to watch out for your dogs with the beavers, but we won't get into that. Yeah, that would be the way that I would start the morning. Just going down there to the gravel pit, not doing the whole grill thing and everything, but jumping in for a dip, cooling down, coming out. It would be the summer, by the way, this perfect day. And then I'd come home, I'd do a diner breakfast on my stove. I'd get 4 cast iron skillets out. We'd do 2 bacon. We'd get the potatoes going in the other 2. Potatoes are done. Crack some eggs. Bacon, eggs, potatoes. Come on. Eat that. And then put the baby down for a nap. and then probably in that time come down here, like make some noise, make some music or something, chill, have more coffees probably. And then lunchtime, baby would wake up, I'd make the baby his lunch, and then make myself a ridiculous chicken sandwich or steak sandwich, one or the other, depending on the day. And then we'd eat that, and then probably go to the park, play some fetch, go swinging, play some fetch with the dogs, go swinging with the swing, come back, and then probably do a little TV time. Well, we start prepping for dinner, maybe crack a cold Coors Light at this point, which has recently become my ideal beer. And yeah, make the meal. Like, you know, it wouldn't take much these days, like just a good smooth day, like I'm describing. And then dinner, you know, something maybe over the charcoal barbecue would be nice. And then just a great easy bedtime with the baby, putting him down, and then he would sleep through the whole night, and we would watch a whole movie without interruption. Then we'd go to bed, and then we'd wake up and he'd still be sleeping, and we'd have our coffee made, and we'd get a chance to have a hot cup. So it would actually be like 28 hours, this fantasy that I was describing. But yeah, it would hang over if it was an ideal day. It would be warm coffee the next morning, another helping of breakfast. Wow, hey buddy, you want some scrambled eggs? Boom. There it is.
Beauty.
That's a perfect day if I ever heard one. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about a
dude mixed in there.
oh yeah. What about a hidden gem in the city? This could be a person, place, or thing.
Okay, well, there's ping pong at Palisade, just so you guys know.
I didn't know that. Ping
Yeah.
pong now?
Yep, now you know. Hidden gem, Asmara Coffee, hidden gem, if there ever has been one. Another hidden gem, Nova Era Bakery.
Yes. Great place.
Oh, so inviting dumpling house.
So inviting.
Hidden gem. I mean, for any of the black listeners right now, United Cuts down on King Street across from the Covent Garden Market. Great place to get a haircut. As you can see, I have yet to get cleaned up for the big show. But when I do, you know where I'll be going.
There you go.
Those are some great spots. You always think like when you're a regular or something at some place, you don't think of it as a hidden gem, and then you hear it and you're like, oh yeah, some people don't know about that.
Some people don't.
You gotta let the people know.
Hidden gem, Home Hardware in Wortley Village.
It is a great place.
Best one I've been to.
It's just nice having a, I forget what, I think it was the owner of Sidetrack said that, where it was like, it's so nice to just have a Home Hardware in Wortley. Like there's not a lot of like hardware shops just like in the middle of your neighborhood.
I know, it's so key.
It's a very small town vibe.
Yeah.
Right in there. Well, we're going to get into our final section of the show now. It's time for the final game. Aaron, will you describe the game for us?
For sure. So, Jordan, we are going to give you two options of pretty similar things in London. Without too much thought, you let us know. And the best way is to just say the name of the game, which is this
or
that.
This or that. I love this game.
Yeah.
Let's play some this or that.
All right. So without too much thought, no explanation needed. Let us know which you think is the best, or choose this or that.
Western Fair Market or Covent Garden Market?
Covent Garden Market.
Groove's record.
Is the first thing you say this, and the second thing you say is that?
No, you're choosing this or that.
Okay, I don't have to say this or that.
No.
I answered
Which
right. Covent Garden.
Mhm.
Sorry, Western Fair.
Grooves Records or Odyssey Records?
Grooves.
Masonville Mall or White Oaks Mall?
I mean, I don't know. Masonville Mall just got open for it, so Masonville.
Springbank Park or Gibbons Park?
Springbank, family reasons. Springbank.
Mm-hmm. Fanshawe College or Western University?
Fanshawe College. Fuck Western.
Wortley Village or Old East Village?
I mean, Old East Village. Wortley, you get too many. Yes. Not too much thought.
London Brewing Co-op or Anderson Craft Ales?
London Brewing Co-op. Sorry, Anderson's.
Knights game or Majors game?
Knights game.
Brown and Dixon or City Lights?
City Lights, but I just don't know Brown and Dixon.
Would you rather bike the TVP or hike in one of our environmentally significant areas?
Is the TVP that path that goes all the way through and under and down by Harris Park and all that? Bike the
Yeah.
TVP every single damn time.
Yeah. Goes everywhere.
This one, you'll be able to answer pretty easily. Black Walnut or Asmara Coffee?
Asmara Coffee. And I'm happy it was on the list. It shows knowledge.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
one of you drinks it? Which one of you drink? You're a Black Walnut girl, I know that.
Just because of location, but I am a fan of.
When you're in that neck of the woods, you like the mud.
Oh,
Right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really dark. Oh, it's good. Have you had it, Pat?
I don't drink coffee at all, to be honest. I drink Coca-Cola. That's all I need.
Nice. Unreal. Have you had the Mexican sugarcane Cokes?
Yes, it's super awesome. I love it.
Yes, I like that stuff too. Sorry to interrupt the game.
No, absolutely fine.
Powerhouse or Stormstayed?
Powerhouse.
What about Richmond Row
I got love for the people. Sorry.
What about Richmond Row or Dundas Place?
I mean, if we're going by time spent, it's Richmond Row, baby. And I call it the Strip, and I've been down on the Strip. It's Richmond Row, but I want to spend more time on Dundas Place now that I got a baby.
Yeah.
So
Different times of life.
Yeah, Uncle Petey, the Strip. Daddy Jordan, Dundas Place. Hitting the Covent Garden Market. Stopping at Bruce Records. That stuff.
Harris Park or Victoria Park?
Let's go Victoria Park because it's closer to home and less geese poop.
Just a little bit less. The last one for you, Highland Theater or Mustang Drive-In?
Well, okay, wait. Which one's Highland Theater? I've never been to Mustang Drive-In. Are these both drive-ins?
No, Highland's on. Oh, sorry, you go ahead, Aaron.
It's on Warrencliffe, right outside of Wortley, right on that end there. It plays all of kind of like the artsy films. They do like retro night.
A little away from Stormstayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That one. They played Licorice Pizza. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Congratulations, you made it through.
That's a fun game. Great questions. That was a fun game.
It's tougher than you realize, right?
I wish there was more. I wish there was like favorite loaf of bread.
Get really deep with it.
Yeah.
Well, it's tough because there's like you try and think of things, but you also don't want to be mean to some businesses. You're like, I don't want it to be like.
Oh, you just
get
add a personal opinion. You know, I love Anderson beer too. It's just I have a weekly gig at London Brewing Co-op, so like we scratch each other's backs, you know. We're family over at London Brewing Co-op, where I love Anderson's, another great pillar of the neighborhood. Love the people there too. I don't know. I think it's just there's a loyalty aspect, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to say the answer, you know. Asmara, I haven't had as much Black Walnut as I've had Asmara, but when I lived in closer to Wortley, I'd have to go down for the Ethiopian blend several times because it's like I'm not going all the way across. I'm not.
Yeah.
And it does the trick. Black Walnut's good, and they have bomb sandwiches. If you didn't know that, talk about hidden gem.
Oh, all of their baked goods there are fantastic.
Yeah. Yes. This is a good episode to listen to. You like good shit.
Is there anything that you want to leave the listeners with, Jordan, before we sign off for the evening?
Yeah, how can they follow you, find any upcoming gigs, all those things?
Okay, great. Yeah, so please check out our band, Texas King. You can find us online at our website, texasking.ca. You can find us on Instagram at Texas King Band. Does anyone use Twitter anymore? I think it's at Texas King Band there too. Facebook, same thing. And then man, come down to the show if you're in the London area. I'd say if you live within 2 hours of London, make it down for the Friday night show. Like it's that worth it. It's gonna be a great show, great bill, and we're on YouTube as well. Don't let me forget that. All our music videos are on there, and where else? I'm playing down at the London Brewing Co-op on Tuesday nights, except for tonight. I'm not going. So yeah.
Made time for us. There you go. That's right. So thank you.
Perfect. So we'll see you all, guys. All the listeners, we'll see you tonight at the show. Rocking out.
See you there.
There you go.
Hey guys, this is Jordan MacDonald from Texas King, and you're listening to the London's Pretty Cool podcast.